Returning from an international gaming convention, I couldn't wait to put my pictures on Facebook. Half the fun of being adventurous is bragging about the awesome things that you had the chance to see and do. And if you can find a kooky games that never got released in America, you can inspire a little bit more envy in your friends with each bizarre gem found. As I was preparing to upload the photos, I noticed Sean, an old friend of mine, in chat. I hadn't spoken to him in a while, so I threw out an introductory, "Yo." Sean replied, "Hey, how'd the trip go? Find anything good?" With an awesome day this was shaping up to be. I had been waiting the entire plane trip to brag about my new gaming swag. I rushed headlong into my pent-up gaming infomercial. "I hit the DS games hard," I gushed. "It may be last gen, but it's not region locked. Most of the stuff I got was just cheap filler like a UK driver's ed test prep game. However, I did find some bits of strangeness worth mentioning. Apparently, Mr. Bean somehow got a DS platformer a few years ago, but the real prize was a game starring Tingle." "No way," Sean typed. I shot him a link to a review of Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land to corroborate my story. He replied, "Unbelievable. Sure sounds more interesting than what I've got at the moment." I ventured, "More Facebook fluff?" Comparing my suspicions, he said, "Yeah, it's that cutesy city building thing your cousin John was going on about." With a healthy dose of gamer sympathy, I asked, "How is it?" After a few seconds, Sean replied, "Not bad, actually. You order around a little chibi imp and it builds things for you. Its gameplay is a bit thin, but it has some character to it, at least." With a slight chuckle, I wrote, "Let me know how it goes. I'm going to upload my trip pics and then take some shots of Rupee Land gameplay. The quality won't be great, but I want to inflict it on everyone ASAP." I set the uploader to start on my pictures before popping the Rupee Land game card into the system. It didn't load at first, but a quick pass with some rubbing alcohol seemed to fix the problem. The title card featured Tingle frolicking in front of a castle while gently joyous music chimed through the speakers. Once in the game itself, the atmosphere promised to provide some good material to show off. Soothing birds and vibrant art complemented the quirky rupee-centric mechanics. If a game ever started by trying to kill the player with charm, it would be this one. After playing for a while, I put the game down, and when I heard the familiar Facebook chat chime, "Sorry if I'm bothering you," Sean typed. "I just want to check something real quick. Is Facebook working normally for you?" I conducted a quick, confused survey before assuring him that everything was normal on my end. "Odd," he typed before a long pause. "My Facebook is turned red and black. I thought it might be a game app, but virus scans show nothing. I restarted the computer, I even reinstalled Chrome, and I have triple-checked for anything routing me to another site. I was hoping it was some sort of promotion or event. I can't explain this." "I'd cut my losses and go to an expert tomorrow," I feebly offered. "I know," he said. "I'm just kind of disappointed that I won't get to see the end of my game. Your cousin was really hyping it. I think it has something to do with the imp. It keeps getting larger as I build my city. Thanks anyway." Regretting my inability to help, I returned to Rupee Land. Once again, I was lost in it within a few minutes. I was nearing the first boss fight when I heard repeating Facebook chimes. My cousin was spamming me with links to play a game called City Scraper Naroku. There are times when I swear he has the social grace of an impatient wildebeest. Attempting to retain composure, I responded, "Hey, if that's the game you sent to Sean, it's done something crazy to his computer. Don't think you're going to get me to try it until I hear back from him about what happened." "Yes, just a harmless side effect. Besides, you've got to check out the ending," he continued. I tried several times to politely tell him that I would play later, and each time he countered with, "It has a rather lovely ending." Now genuinely annoyed, I snapped, "I don't know why you were talking like that, but I don't care. When you calm down, we can talk. Until then, I'm in the middle of something." Even after my outburst, he persisted. Eventually, I just blocked him in frustration. I'd like to talk to my aunt tomorrow to see if everything was alright. I really wasn't in a state to handle diplomacy, and hoped that he had just forgotten a dose of Ritalin. I tried to calm down by getting back into Rupee Land, but I just couldn't focus. Despite occasionally being a hyper pain in the butt, John hadn't acted like this before. There had to be something about the game that really got to him. A quick search for City Scraper Naroku yielded a little more than a mountain of glowing reviews. It was only upon reading the reviews I started to grow uneasy. Every game I have ever played is hated by someone. Even a classic will have at least a few detractors. This was the first game I'd seen earn unanimous maximum scores. And every review, I mean every single review, ended with the phrase, "It has a rather lovely ending." Beyond that, the phrase kept showing up in squee-filled forum posts. it was in image macros, it headlined blogs. If it was a Lion Cake-esque meme, it must have sprung up while I was on my trip. I'd never seen anything like this. My attention returned to Facebook when a cacophony of chimes alerted me to a flood of messages. High school acquaintances, work friends, classmates alike were all sending me the same message. It has a rather lovely ending. For every one I blocked, several more joined me in the spam attack. Amidst the din, I noticed Sean was still on. Typing the fastest I had ever typed, I sent, "Hey, you aren't still playing that game, are you? Something weird is going on. People are freaking out about it. I can't get a moment's peace. Close Facebook, I'll call you." "But I'm so close to the end," he whined. "I think I've been building in some sort of pattern. It's oddly geometric. Kind of pleasant." "I'm not joking. Close Facebook now," I responded. I was screaming as I typed in a vain attempt to make him hear the warning. Hard booting the computer, I grabbed my cell phone. My fingers barely found their target as they dialed. I sighed as Sean picked up the phone. Unable to contain my relief, I said, "Thank God, tell me what you saw in the game, and maybe we can figure out why everyone has lost their mind over this thing." Those few seconds I waited before he spoke crept it by at an anguished pace. It was only when I was considering checking to see if the call had been dropped that I heard him speak in a voice full of a placid distance. "If you want to know what is in the game, you'll have to play it. It's a lot of fun, actually, and I don't want to spoil any surprise, but it has a rather lovely ending." Geometry. I, too, find that is the scariest thing about, well, this entire creepypasta, you know? How it gets everything so geometric, all the buildings are so positively just mathematic. I'm just kidding. That's not my real review of this, but, you know. I would just want to say one thing. This creepypasta sets up a very decent premise, but it doesn't deliver. This creepypasta essentially sets up a premise of something really spooky happening with a Facebook game, you know, just something that many people find as just completely harmless. Their mothers send them these all the time, Facebook friends, you know, like online friends, your girlfriends, your sisters, your brothers, they just send you these random games to play, you know, join on Farmville, and they're gonna get, like, extra, you know, like, crops or seeds or extra hay for their horses or something, you know, play this and I can help get gold to defend my castle, you know, it's like, it's something that everyone does and everybody at least knows about. And it sets up this premise that's very strong, in my opinion, as a premise, but it doesn't deliver at all. Like, it starts to kind of wind up with the creepy thing. You got your typical cliche, you know, black and red creepy page, you know, I mean, Creepypasta Wiki's kind of got that scheme as well, but, I mean, that's kind of the intention. But it loses itself around near the end. There's not really too much to it, you know, it's just, the writing is very good, and the grammar is very good, which I can say is a lot better than most of the other creepypastas on the site, but it just doesn't deliver. It doesn't have any impact, there's no oomph to it, it's just there. It sets up a very cool premise, and that's about it. You know, it just doesn't do much to help us in fleshing out a story. So, basically, what I feel could happen is if they take the story and they further expand on it a little bit more, kind of give us a little insight into kind of what is happening in the game. Don't just glance over it, because I want to know, what is Cityscape Naraku or whatever it is. What is it? Why is it so popular? I understand it's got a cool ending, but what is it? You can't just kind of introduce a game and then just, like, throw out, like, nothing, you know. In fact, I'm gonna, like, kind of search that up. Cityscape Naraku. It's got nothing. Yeah, it's got nothing. It's just another link to a Creepypasta wiki. But that's the whole thing. If you set up a premise, you gotta deliver on it, and that's unfortunately where this Creepypasta falls flat. It sets up a really cool premise, but all in all, it just doesn't have much of an ending or a build-up at all. Well, I mean, it does have an ending, which it is a rather lovely ending, in a sense. Grammatically, of course. That's it. Again, just build on the premise and build something a little bit more. I just want more to it. That's all I really want. So, yeah. I told y'all I'd come back with a creepypasta, and it's a little short, but I feel it's worthwhile. We're getting into Halloween, so why not start making more spooktaculars? I'm going to be back with another Trollpasta, so that's fun things. And our UIL events are kicking up, so, you know, going to be a little busy, but that's doable. That's doable. I'll see about getting this done as quickly as possible. So, yeah. If you liked this video, please do like, comment, subscribe. I really would appreciate it, you know. And that's all from me. I'm the Milton Horse, and I will see y'all later. Standing on my doorstep, waiting for a package, hoping for that blissful moment when